The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
I'm your host, Karen Roberts, and today we're thrilled to have Adriana Briceno. She's a real estate advisor specializing in Miami-Dade and Broward County. Fluent in English and Spanish, Adriana brings a diverse perspective to her clients. After earning her degree in international business from the University of Houston, she lived abroad, her boat in Aventura, deepening her love for Miami and igniting her passion for selling homes in this paradise. So as a skilled realtor, Adriana excels in managing transactions of all sizes and connecting with clients from various backgrounds. With experience on both sides of the closing table, she collaborates with developers, first-time buyers, and investors seeking multifamily opportunities. She's tech-savvy and dedicated to stress-free transactions, and she prioritizes clear communication throughout the process. And so, welcome to the show, Adriana. We're going to dive into your journey.
Thank you. I love that introduction.
So let's dive in. Your journey began with a degree in international business. So what inspired you to transition into real estate, and how has your background influenced your approach to this industry?
Yes. So my parents always had their own business. I feel like I was not made to be in a 9-to-5 kind of job or any type of strict scheduling. That really made a huge difference in my life. So I, of course, wanted to have my own business with real estate. My mom is also a realtor, but she does real estate in Houston. And in Houston, there's a lot of land. I mean, you can buy a 5-bedroom home with what I can sell you a studio in South Beach, you know? So for the sake of the price tag and also for the beautiful landscape of Miami, I knew this is where I really wanted to be. So I'm in like land here.
Fantastic.
Now with international business, I will tell you, I learned a lot about how to deal with people from different backgrounds, and Miami is a melting pot. So it's good for me to know how to learn how to talk to anybody, really, just to have something in common to speak with anybody that you put me in front of. I feel like with real estate, you have to have people skills. And when you're in Miami, your people skills go along with your international culture and awareness.
Yeah, totally agree. I nearly went to spend a winter there once, many years ago. But for you, living on a boat in Aventura sounds like an incredible experience. So how did that lifestyle shape your love for Miami and your passion for selling homes in that area?
Yes. Well, I'm originally from Venezuela, and I was also living by the coast. So, you know, once you live by the beach, even though Miami has a huge city, and I love Miami because it has a city and the beach, but Houston wasn't for me. So I graduated from the University of Houston, like you said, thought about what place had what I wanted, which was Miami. And for me to move right out of college was tough, just because your salary when you start right out of college is not enough for you to have your dream life. So I got a boat. My dad also helped me get the boat. My dad used to be a Navy SEAL in Venezuela. That's why it wasn't a crazy idea for us. So we got a boat that actually sunk. They put lights under the hull. It sunk on the test drive, and I bought it salvage for super cheap. And that was my home for the next 2 years. In Aventura, I lived in a community that has like marble pools and gym and everything. And I was only paying for the little rent of a dock. So it really made sense for me starting. But, my shoes, my closet, they pushed me into a studio eventually, and I got rid of the boat.
Brilliant,
Mm.
brilliant. What a start out in Miami. Fantastic. So
Yeah.
you've worked with a diverse, as you say, you've worked with a diverse range of clients from developers to first-time buyers, right? So can you share a memorable experience that solidified your commitment to helping others in their real estate journeys?
I would tell you, I really started doing real estate like full time in Florida right before COVID. And that time was very interesting. At first, everything was dead. And then I was making sales just of making video tours just with my phone. However, I think going for the answer that you're asking me, it was really building that relationship that people can trust you, even though they just met you. Probably they found me on Zillow and gave me a call, and this is all they know about me. And here I am
Hmm.
trying to make them do a deposit on a huge number. So it's really about trust. It's about providing that connection and all the information that your clients need to have that, informed decision. I
Mm.
really think that's like the spice that made me love also doing real estate, because I'm such a people's person. And if I can earn your trust, to me, that's not working. To me, that's just, almost like a hobby, because properties here are so beautiful and I get to talk to really interesting people. I mean, it's a very pleasurable job.
And communication is key, right? Communication is key in real
Mhm.
estate. So, what strategies do you use to ensure that your clients feel supported and informed, I suppose, throughout the whole process?
Yeah, over communication is definitely a thing with real estate, because a lot of people will ignore you. We live in an age where people can just read your messages and not respond, or, read your emails and ignore them, especially for realtors. I feel like I'm chasing after a lot of people. But over communication, just letting people know everything that's happening in the market, like I said, every change, everything that I think will affect their decision, just being that source of information really sets me apart. And I think it's definitely the key with that communication stream that eventually leads to my success. It's just real estate is a huge game of nurture, and you nurture
Mm,
clients with that communication, being informative.
absolutely. And so
Mhm.
how has it been in Miami? A lot of people I speak to, this year and last year has been a little bit of a struggle with all the changes, but how
Mhm.
is it over there? How is it with you? What was your production like last year? How many units did you sell?
Well, regarding the changes that are happening in Miami, I think every time there is chaos, there's also opportunity, right? So even though it's been tough for some buyers, it's been amazing for some others. Last year, let's see, I think my average is just about 12 to 14 sales a
Right.
year. With my rentals, it averages about 20 something a year, and I've been very steady on that. I'm a top Zillow agent, which helps a lot as well, because Zillow and I have a really close relationship. However, you have a lot of people that are thinking that Miami is no longer affordable. The HOAs are high. We have assessments. We have 40-year certifications. There's so many new requirements after what happened in Surfside, that a lot of people are choosing to sell their condos because it's debt. Some of them bought for very cheap a few years ago, and now, they have to pay a huge amount of fees monthly, that it doesn't make sense for them, especially for the people that thought Florida will be like a retirement destination, and they live in a retirement income. And that's the kind of people that are leaving. But this is like a renaissance. We have so many businesses moving here, like huge businesses bringing a lot of workforce. There's also a lot of businesses all over the United States that allow people now to work from home. And what a better place to work from home than from Florida. We have
Yeah.
beautiful tax incentives. We have beautiful views. You can get a condo with everything walking distance. The weather is amazing. So, it's bringing a lot of people that are actually higher educated. I don't want to say that the people currently are not, but we have a lot of people that are here retired, and we're bringing people that are actively bringing businesses, work, money. There's a lot of people in the tech industry, a lot of influencers. I mean, the list goes on. There's a ton of people moving to Miami, and especially people from northern states. Even though we have a lot of assessments and HOA fees and all that, it's still a lot cheaper than New York, I hear, for example. A lot cheaper
Ah,
than California. And for the lifestyle you get, the tax cuts you get, I mean, if you do the numbers, it makes sense anyway. Mhm.
wow. So moving forward, what do you see happening over the next year? What trends do you see coming then for Miami?
What trends? I mean, right now it's tough for the condo market for sure. So to talk about the Miami market, you have to make a difference between those two. The single family homes, everybody wants them, doesn't have all these troubles that we're having with the condo industry right now. With the condo industry, one of the biggest changes is going to be in January 1st or December 31st is the deadline for all the condos to have a reserve study worth the next 10 years. So it won't be for you a surprise that, you buy a condo today and tomorrow you have a huge assessment for maintenance that somebody could have told you that. So I think the new trend is going to be being really like informed buyers. We have beautiful views from every balcony. So we have a lot of emotional buyers. They just walk in, they love the place, they don't
Mm,
care what issues the building has. I feel like that's going to start to, diminish a little bit now that we have so much information available for the buyers. It's natural that buyers are going to ask better questions nowadays. And with that report at hand, that you can see the maintenance that at least comes into mind for the next 10 years. You won't be buying such a, uncertainty package. You'll be buying a building with clear financials that you can read. So I think that's definitely going to be a trend. Educated buyers. Demand is always high here just because, again, the view, the location, the weather. We have
yeah.
so many things pulling in here. The amount of businesses coming. Endless list. So I think demand is always there. What's keeping it slow right now is that lack of information that I can give to a buyer that's investing such a huge amount of money in their lives on a condo and not letting them know anything about the structural or, that's an issue right now. And I think that won't be an issue soon.
Right. So
Mhm.
what's next for you? What's next for Adriana over the next year? What are your goals?
I always do like a 5-year plan and all of that, but I really don't see me moving too far from where I am right now, just because I feel like there's so much more for me to learn, grow, make a name of myself. What I'm doing is working, and I want to make it work for longer before taking like a big next step. I feel like also I have a lot of faith, so the next step comes along. But for now, I just want to master these condos. I want to master the single family homes. I want my name known here in Miami Beach. I mean, I work for Lauderdale. I've sold in Boca, Boynton, South Beach, but I do everything along Miami and Miami Beach the most. And here we have so many condos. I mean, it's so very few the neighborhoods that have single family homes that don't actually pay an HOA. And so it doesn't just take a realtor that just got a license to sell you a condo here. It takes a real expert that knows all the condos, their issues, where in the certification process are there. There is like so much more information that you need to know now after what happened in Surfside that differentiates a person with a real estate license and a real estate advisor. So I feel like for me, there's a lot more room there to grow. I want to know every building like the back of my hand, every floor plan, every line. So I'm gonna do that for the next few years.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So the last question is always the same because here at Icons, we're not just a podcast, we're the number one real estate podcast network, and we are passionate about making podcasting accessible for everybody in the real estate industry. So if you had your own podcast, what would you call it?
Let's see. I would call it Adriana stats, something along that way. I just want to give you.
Adriana stats. The stats, because the stats don't lie, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
I just want to
stats
give you
don't
that.
lie. Brilliant. And so for the listeners, look, if they're looking to, because there's probably going to be some good opportunities coming up with these condos, right? When everything's sort of sorted. So how would they reach you? How do they get in touch?
Yes, so I am part of the Opus group at Compass. My email will be best, and I will put it everywhere, adriana.briceno@compass.com. The Opus team at Compass is the #2 biggest team in Miami-Dade right now with the most sales. We had 205 sales just last year, so that puts us as #2. And I can tell you a lot of that is people coming from Silo. So you will see me all over Silo when you look at condos around here. So just find me anywhere in the internet, Adriana Briceno.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And to the listeners, I will be back next time with the Icons of Real Estate podcast. Bye for now.
It was a pleasure, Karen. Thank you.